Hey everybody, I'm DeoGenZ, and today we're going to finally head towards the Elite Four down Route 27. But first, I want to stop in at Professor Elm's laboratory because he had something for us. Hi DeoGenZ, thanks to you, my research is going great. Take this as a token of my appreciation. A Master Ball! Master Balls are the best type of balls that you can find in any Pokemon game. It's a guaranteed capture every time. Doesn't matter if it's a legendary, a Rattata, a Ponyta. Why I mention a Ponyta specifically? Well, on the route we're going to be exploring today, I threw my Master Ball at a Ponyta because I thought they were rare. And I've always had horses throughout my life, so I didn't know there was such a horse Pokemon. I'm like, oh, this thing must be really rare. And then I run into another one, and then another one, and then another one, and then I thought to myself, shit, I really should restart my game. Now, I can't recall if I did restart it or not, because I didn't even know if that would reset things at the time, being the noob I was, but just a funny story of a waste of a Master Ball. And before we head out, I want to stop in, say hi to Mom, and check out what kind of dolls we can put on our desk. You can get different types of Pokedolls by having the Pokemon Watt counter. It's like a Pokemon Mini, but actually, is it the Pokemon Mini? Because I know it has a transfer spot, but that might just be to connect up to other Pokemon Minis. But there was a Pikachu Pocket little companion that you would walk around with and gather volts, similar to the Pokewalker in a way. And once you did that, you could transfer it onto your cartridge, and you would be able to get new types of Pokedolls on your desk. There are still more types to get, even without the wattage. Hey! Do you know what you just did? You've taken your first step into Kanto. Aww? Check your Pokegear map and see. Well, I think we should. I don't believe this fat man. Well, I'll be darned. We are in a completely different region. Now you can understand why I thought that if you just went through a shrub, if you glitched through something, you might find different areas. Me crossing the barriers into Kanto, I couldn't believe what I had done. I was like, no way! It was there the whole time. All I had to do was surf over there. Incredible. But there are more of those Pokedolls to have. You just gotta keep raising coin, battling people, and your mom will buy them for you. There's one doll in particular I believe that you can get all on your own without the Pokemon Pikachu mini pocket thing. And that's the Snorlax doll. That's probably the coolest one that you could get just on your own without doing anything extra. I love that doll. It fills up the whole entire desk space. Tojo Falls. The link between Kanto and Johto. Well, the link came a little too late. We're already in Kanto, technically. Ugh, freaking Sea Kings. Yeah, there are some interesting Pokemon along this route, but if you're coming down this route and you still haven't devised your team, you might want to consider calling some people who you've battled in the past for additional experience points and get it together. Because really, at this point in the game, you should have your main team all settled. I don't personally have everything fully evolved, but the members in my team are not going to change. The only last member that has to evolve is Eevee into Umbreon, and I'm hoping that happens. Maybe this episode? We never will know. At least it's dark out, so that's a better chance of it happening than if it was light. It's rare to see anyone come here. Are you training on your own? Well, there's no Pokemon following me, so I suppose so. Man, that was something strange that they did from Heart Gold and Soul Silver to Black and White. I can't believe that they didn't make Pokemon follow you. Does it really take that much to make sprites just, I don't know, follow you? It seems like it's an elementary thing. Yeah, there's over 600 Pokemon to do it for, but I really enjoyed that element of traveling with my Pokemon. It's a very silly thing, I know. It's not like it did anything besides give me something to turn back and talk to. But it was nice seeing the Pokemon that I traveled with right by my side. Made me feel like we were doing this entire adventure together, not just battling. That's kind of the bummer with Pokemon over the years. You don't get to do much with them but battle, and store them in a PC. Feels like an abusive relationship if you ask me. Okay, you people are gonna get the shit kicked out of you. You are gonna sit in my box and waste away. Why? Because I got to catch them all. I don't care if I never get to interact with you pokes again. I gotta catch you all. No, I'm not going to release you. You're never going back out to the wild to see your family again. I need to keep you after I catch you all. Yeah, yes, I know. All I need is your Pokedex entry. But I must have you. It's really almost creepy if you think about it. These Pokemon aren't really your pals. Maybe that's why Nintendo programmed some of those additional things you could do, like the beauty contests and the, what is it in black and white? The singing thing where they just dance around. That was pathetic. I mean, cool that you want to do something different, and they have been since Generation 3 with the cool contests, tough contests, and all that. But the fact that you couldn't control your Pokemon in the dancing minigame at all, you just had to watch it, it was ridiculous. It's like, why do I even come here? Alright, yeah, a sprite jumps back and forth with some other sprightly clothes that I slapped on it, but this doesn't intrigue me at all. What do you guys think, though? Should the Pokemon Company start to program some more friendly elements of the game into it? I don't want to seem like a bleeding heart for Pokemon, after all it is a game, but it's just, after all these years of traveling with these little guys, I feel like the interaction should be more than just, use a tackle attack! Don't know. That's just me, though. So already, we're just at the beginning opening of this route, off to the Pokemon Elite Four, Pokemon League with the Elite Four within it. And there are some super strong Pokemon here, fully evolved. Other people have starters. Huh, way to go Eevee with the flinch-tastic movesets. But you really need to be prepared. You can't willy-nilly walk through with an ill-completed team. Now, you might have taken the strategy where you just train 3 types, and for that, you'll probably rush through all this, actually. Because I remember when I did that, and it was no problem. Especially if you chose Typhlosion. I mean, Cyndaquil and evolved to Typhlosion. But you best be prepared with Hyper Potions, because it's hella frustrating to go back to Johto to a Pokemon Center and constantly back and forth. It's not as easy as flying there. And this lady here, I don't think that she's ever going to say we don't trust our Pokemon. She just gives us a nice TM37, which is Sandstorm. I don't really use Sandstorm. I didn't use it in 2nd gen, 3rd gen. I really only started to use it in 4th. Once I got into the metagame, but it's a variable move. Really, it's not gonna work for you unless your team is kind of built around Sandstorm. Sorry as that sounds. You need rock types, steel types. I believe ground types as well are resistant to Sandstorm. Maybe incorrect there. Yes, we are pretty strong, so let us battle. But the problem is, you're ending up whittling down your other team members if only, say, one of your Pokemon is like Magneton here in a Steel type. So imagine if we came out and tried to use Sandstorm not knowing that Steel would resist it. What a waste that would have been. And Eevee would have been damaged. This looks like a job for Charbak! Hey! Breaking my eardrums. The freak you doing? You know what's funny is I always thought once Pokemon got abilities, Magneton had Levitate, but he has magnet pull. It's kind of funny. I don't know why there isn't even a second option like there is with hidden abilities, Dream World abilities in the 5th gen to have levitate. Unless they've already done that, because that would have been awesome. But Magneton floats. It's not walking on magnets. I've never seen in the anime Magneton face down crawling on its 3 magnets. It doesn't work like that. It floats. It levitates. Why does it not have that ability? Sure, magnet pull makes sense because of the magnets, but it does more than that. Oh, jeez. Should have seen that one coming. Quagsire is a ground/water type, so beware. Unfortunately, Chew will be very weak against it. I'm not even going to bother throwing it out there because I'm just asking to be EQ'd, earthquaked. It's not like his Thunderbolt would even affect it. He'd be grounded. And then he'd retaliate right away with that powerful earthquake. I'd love to know in the comments below, where do you find the TM for earthquake? Because I don't think we came across it. And it's a very valuable move. And if it's possible to find before you reach the Elite Four, then that's even better. Charbok bites back from the grave. So this, if you couldn't tell, is going to be a long episode of training. My cats are being idiots. Probably couldn't hear that on the microphone, but they just are battling each other behind me. But yeah, this is going to be a long episode of trainer battles. I haven't put up the other trainer battle episode. Oh no. Eevee, you must destroy that thing. Actually, Shadow Ball would be stronger. That's the good thing about Execute. It's Psychic. Is it Psychic Grass or just Psychic? I can't recall. I think it's Psychic Grass. But I haven't looked at the comments on that other video to see if this is even a good method of presenting these battles to you, or if you're completely bored. I hope not. I'm going to keep commentating anyway. So I'm working on my Pokemon research paper in college. Yeah, you heard me right. I'm in college and I'm doing a research paper about Pokemon. It was cool because, you know, you just have to be a silver tongue and convince people that what you're doing will be the best thing they ever saw. And I convinced my teacher of that this would be a very great research topic, and of course it's excellent for me because it's what I know best. But I was looking into the marketing strategy of Pokemon. They invested $25 million in advertisements for the television show, at Kentucky Fried Chicken. They went haywire with pumping this thing up so it became a full phenomenon. And they were damn successful in it. You know, it's a shame because back then I wasn't like I am today, where I'm completely independent and I'd rather stick to myself. You know, most people that are just in my life that I see as NPCs, like non-playable characters, you didn't know what that meant, that just whisk by in my daily life, I don't care to talk to them. If they stop and talk to me, which sometimes they do, because I guess I just got one of those faces, you know, friendly face who was willing to listen, they stop and talk to me about inane bullshit. And just the negativity I've noticed in most people, it's shocking. A lot of people like to take the darker approach to life, that things suck, and well, they're just going along analyzing all those things and just wishing to tell someone, anyone, like myself. You know, I wasn't like that back in the day when I was a kid, so I can't say that I wasn't swept up by the Pokemania. I'm sure I was. And seeing all the money they invested into it, they did a damn good job at swindling me into their little Pokemon club here. But I'm glad I'm in. You know, it is a fun-ass game, and it's truly my life's passion for the time. But something I noticed also about the marketing is the ridiculous nature of the 3 different versions. You know, they have basically the same game, except just different Pokemon in different grass areas. It really created that mania because you never could complete your game. Completionists, kind of like myself, but not really when it comes to completing the Pokedex, interestingly enough. Completionists would become enraged and frenzied when they couldn't catch all their Pokemon, and that led to a lot of schoolyard bullying and violence, to tell you the truth. It was really shocking to me when I was doing my research. I found out that an adult punched some Burger King employee because he didn't get a Pokemon toy with his meal. I may be 19, but I'm never going to punch someone in the face because of Pokemon. I don't think I'm needing to find a reason to punch anybody. I'd just rather not do that. But the outrageous nature that some people took on because of this gotta catch 'em all craze was astounding. And it's lesser today, and thankfully you don't have to deal with bullies connecting up with you and their link cable and worrying about them jacking your Game Boy and stealing your cartridge for themselves. You don't have to worry about that because of the internet. But I do wonder if Pokemon constantly stayed connected to that link cable, would people still be truculent when trading? I mean, you look in the anime, and of course it's supposed to be the best of Pokemon, and they don't want to really ever show you the shady areas like gambling and, you know, I'll tell you a funny story after this, but they always show trading to be something fun for both parties. You know, oh great, you have that Pokemon, I have this Pokemon, I wanted that one, you wanted this one, great, let's trade! But it's really not like that. It's hey you, I heard you're a fucking Pokemon nerd. I need this fucking Charizard. Give me your game! At least it was in the past. You know, it was cool because back then I never was bullied. In fact, you could even see me as a bit of a bully. During the major hype craze, my parents didn't even let me have Pokemon, interestingly enough. Probably part of the reason I'm such a Pokemaniac today. You know what they say, if you ever reject or try to restrict someone towards something, they're going to push back 10 times harder. It's kind of like Christian women becoming sluts after they leave their fathers, and not all, but some. And if you hang around a Christian girls' school, you'd know what I mean. But you know, I was not caught up in that craze. I was never beat up because I had Pokemon, because I didn't have anything. I was just left out of the swing. But when I did finally get them, I used to swindle people for Pokemon cards. Yeah, I'm not proud of it, but it was what I did when I was trying to get my fix of Pokemon, because at the time I was still not allowed to have them. So what I would do is I would find an unknown card, or somebody would give me repeats of their cards when I went over to their home, and then I would talk to people in school, and I'd show them the card that I had, and then I told them why it was so rare. So the unknown, I told them a long, elaborate story about what happens if they get a couple of these in order, and how they can win a match, you know, instantly, because they could spell out death or something of that nature. I don't remember what story I told specifically, but I fed them a line of bullshit and they bought it, and I traded an unknown card for a shiny holographic Venusaur. Yeah, that was probably one of the best trades I ever made, and it was swindling. I was thieving from these people. You know damn well an unknown is not worth a Venusaur on any level. Not in the games, not on the cards. So I was kind of a shitty person back then. But it was what I had to do to get Pokemon, because I couldn't buy card packs, and you know, to me it was just like, well, survival of the fittest, bitch. If you are too stupid to know what you're doing in this game, you are too stupid to hold on to that rare card, so fork it over. So, you know, it brought out the worst in people, unfortunately, when it came to the trading element. But that was heavily supported by the 3 versions of games. Imagine if, in Pokemon Red, you had the potential to catch every single Pokemon, even Mew, but it would just take a lot of training, it would take a lot of searching, and it would be difficult to do. I still wish they would do that one day, sort of like Pokemon Mystery Dungeon, where every single creature is collectible within one cartridge. I don't know why it's such a hard concept to program for. It's really not. I know it's not. It's just a matter of marketing. If you have multiple versions, then especially Pokemaniacs like myself, you know, once I was able to immerse in the culture of it all, I often bought both versions of the games. And it's not like my brother played it. He may have played it lightly, but it was just me buying myself both versions so I could trade with myself later on. It's lunacy. It's absolute lunacy, and I'm glad that I'm finally maturing to that level. I didn't buy both versions, Pokemon Black and White, last year. And the only reason I bought Heart Gold and Soul Silver, and Heart Gold again because I imported it from Japan, was because that was my childhood. It was Crystal, revamped and reformed, and having Pokemon follow me. So it was nostalgia, but did I need all three of those games? No, I play only one. The Japanese one I never go to again, and the Heart Gold version I don't think I even started. I think I might have downloaded some collectible Wi-Fi events, but other than that, I haven't gone anywhere outside of Cherry Grove City. So it's ridiculous, but their marketing strategy works. It swindles people into either getting both versions, or, thankfully now, talking to people online and trading. The trading element is fun, but it wasn't fun back in the day when you had to deal with assholes face to face. Now it doesn't matter if whoever you're trading with is an asshole. You put up an offer, if they don't like it, they don't trade. And if you're still dealing with someone more directly through, I don't know, say a Cerebi chat or a forum, even if they are an asshole and they try to swindle you for more, you could just turn the power off, and that troll can be done. So it's much better to not confront people face to face for trades. But the three versions of everything pisses me off. It's going to be interesting to see what Black 2 and White 2 turn out to be, because it's not a third iteration to the, not Sinnoh, sorry, Unova region. I was about to say Isu region, but that's the Japanese version of it. But the Unova region, they don't have a Pokemon Gray. They have two more adventures, you know, mirroring the two versions that they continue to have, coming up in June. I'm hoping that they really elevate the story. It goes on to see where N went and all that good stuff, but why are two versions necessary? Who gives a shit if there's two different legendaries? You should be able to find them at some point in two different areas of your game. It's like what they did in Emerald. If I just waited until Emerald came out, of course I couldn't wait with my Pokemania hysteria on my mind, but if I waited, I would have been able to get all three of the legendaries, Rayquaza, Kyogre, and Groudon, and I just thought for a second there, Rayquaza, however you pronounce it. But it was much better to get that game than the two subsequent games. It's just ridiculous. But hey, we're all swept up in this Pokemon hysteria together, so we should enjoy it. But it's still a masterful marketing strategy, and it's fun to get a different viewpoint on the company by making a research paper on it and seeing just how devious they can be in their marketing strategies. Not really devious, though, just smart. You know, I shouldn't get mad at Nintendo for being a stupid consumer. I've learned. And in the next episode, we're going to continue down this route, battle more trainers, and hopefully evolve my Eevee. See you next time, guys.